Hello, hope you're having a great day. Now this morning, I definitely feel like I've lost my mojo a little bit. My morning's been a bit different because my beautiful girlfriend Kat was doing night shift last night and I had use of her car yesterday evening. So it meant that before I could start doing my morning routine, I had to go and pick her up from work. So it was inevitable that I was going to start my morning routine a bit later. But I've just been dawdling a bit through it. I've caught myself scrolling on my phone, which, isn't going to help me get through my morning routine any quicker. And, it's not going to do me any good either, staring at a bright screen that's going to be stimulating my mind rather than cracking on with the things I know I need to in the morning to ready me for the day properly. So going through my morning routine a bit slow and just not feeling so motivated. But, I'm lucky that I understand that motivation is always out-trumped by discipline. I understand that, no matter how well or not my morning routine is going, I understand that I need to do it every day. And just the act of doing these things every day benefits me, even if it feels like, on some days, each individual step of my morning routine, it can feel a bit pointless, Anyway, my walk around the block today was a very wet one. It was absolutely pouring with rain. And, I'm not going to say that that's made me feel bad. It didn't bother me at the time, but it's just, less than ideal. But, I don't like to only go for my walks when it's dry. Like, it doesn't matter. I need to go for my walk every day. So, when I got back from that, I sort of found myself scrolling my phone for a while before I even dived into writing in my journal. And, I just feel like got a bit of brain fog, didn't really know what to write in my journal. Like, I've mentioned before in these videos, I like to write down things that I'm grateful for, things that I did yesterday that were good, anything I feel that wasn't good. For instance, yesterday I wrote that I didn't go to the gym yesterday, because I got back late from everything I was doing. So, just felt, as I say, I had a bit of brain fog while I was, trying to write out my journal. And then my meditation just didn't feel like it went well at all. Kept catching myself being drawn away with thought, but, it is what it is. These things, sometimes they just feel better than others. But, the act of doing these things every day, in general, in my life, is massively beneficial. And look, I'll be honest, I've had thoughts this morning going through my head of just negativity, when I feel like these things in my daily routine aren't going as well as they could, my mind is trying to come in and tell me that they're not worth doing, that it's ridiculous, what am I doing? I'm wasting my time, and then I start getting thoughts about whether I should even be bothering to make these videos anymore. My mind can start honing in on the fact that these videos don't get loads and loads of views, just focusing on the negative. And that's what your mind does, it'll either focus in on the positive if you're in a positive mood, or it'll focus in on the negative if you're in a negative mood. It's not what's going on, it's how your mind perceives it a lot of the time, right? But I'm lucky that I understand that discipline always out-trumps motivation. So when I'm not motivated, I know that all I need to do is just use my discipline to grit my teeth and just go through the steps of my routine and just crack on with everything that I need to do. And that's what I've been doing today. But because there is a bit of resistance there, because I'm not feeling my best, and because, the start of my morning routine was delayed because I had to go and pick it up from work, it's just meant that everything's a bit slower, right? And that's kind of another reason for my mind to tell me that I haven't got time for doing these things, that they're a waste of time. It's another reason for my mind to feel negatively about doing my routine. But then again, I just need to keep reminding myself of the simple fact that motivation isn't always there, and that I can tap into discipline when it isn't there. And I ultimately know that, for instance, once I've banged out my workout, it might be a bit of a struggle to get through it, but once I've banged it out, I will feel proud and I will feel happy that I've done it. And, I'll have endorphins making me feel better. And then I know that once I get in my cold shower, it'll be a challenge to get in there. But once I get out, I'll be buzzing, with the dopamine spike from that. So, I'm lucky that I've been doing these things long enough now that even when my mind is trying to find excuses why I shouldn't be doing these things, like every morning, I've built up enough proof, and I've got so many memories of how good I feel after I've done all these things. And, I've got lots of examples in the past where I have not felt that motivated, but then I've gone through it anyway, and I've been glad that I have, So, yeah, the more you do these things, the more you sort of do things that you need to, despite what your mind's telling you, the more you're then able to, at other times, to just do these things, regardless of how motivated you're feeling. So I now need to crack on with my workout. On my little workout plan, I've got back on a Friday morning, so I'm going to do some bent over rows. I'll do the single arm rows on my left arm, just because my left lat is so much smaller than my right. And then I'll do the bent over, similar to rear delt flies, but holding the dumbbells like this instead of like this. And I need a third exercise. I think I'll do these things. I don't think they're for back, to be honest, but kind of like shrugs, but pulling them up like this. So yeah, that'll be the 3 exercises, or 4 if you count the single arm row, but I don't really count that as an extra exercise. 2 sets of each as usual, and then I'm going to dive in my cold shower, and then I can have my breakfast as usual. Never ever regret doing a workout. It's hard work getting myself to do it. It's hard work, obviously, during it, but it always makes you feel better. I'm feeling big and strong and proud. I'll tell you one thing, my legs are really aching from yesterday, because I did lunges instead of squats, which I haven't done for ages. So that's obviously activated some muscles in my legs that haven't been stimulated for a while. So I hope they heal up for boxing tomorrow, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But yeah, right now I need to have a cold shower, and then I can reward myself with my regular poached egg on toast breakfast before diving into some work. All right, so I'm just putting my car in the garage after being around my other garage for a couple of hours. Earlier on, I kind of assumed I wasn't going to go over to the other garage just because the weather was so bad. But then about 1:30 in the afternoon, it started to get better. And then, by that point, I'd done everything that I had to do, on my MacBook before I could head out, if I was going to head out. And I kind of come to the conclusion that I was just going to wrap up the video that I'm working on the other channel with the footage that I had, even though I hadn't done a load on the car. And as I say, then the weather started improving. So then I was sort of trying to decide whether I should or shouldn't go over to the other garage. Really undecided what to do. And obviously, whilst I'm undecided, I'm not doing any work at home. And whilst I'm undecided, I'm wasting time that I could be spending at the garage. And I was sort of umming and ahhing. Part of me was thinking that maybe I could go to the gym with my beautiful girlfriend Kat, because she finished her night shift week this morning, and then she normally goes to the gym mid-afternoon on a Friday when she's finished her week of nights. And then I thought maybe I could go boxing as well this evening, which would have been a killer, obviously, and then that will free me up to go to the garage all day tomorrow. But I don't know what the weather's going to be like tomorrow either, so I basically come to the conclusion that yes, I will go over to the garage, even though it meant I was only going to have a couple of hours. But all day today, I haven't felt 100%. I wouldn't say I've been feeling negative. It's just that I haven't been feeling 100%, and then that's allowed my mind the opportunity to make me hone in on negative things. I've talked about the RAS before, the reticular activation system, and that's a part of your mind that literally does just focus on things that it seems are relevant, right? Now, I'm sure it's an evolutionary thing that we would have needed to survive thousands of years ago, but it basically means that, anything that you're focusing on, you will see, and anything you're not focusing on, you won't see. So, in this example, if I'm feeling positive and I'm feeling inspired, then my mind will naturally focus on and show me things that enforce that positivity. But if I'm feeling slightly down or not feeling 100%, then my mind is naturally going to be able to focus on, not so positive things. And that's what's been happening today. I've just had thoughts going through. I always have thoughts going through my mind, and I'm always analysing what's going on in my mind, and I have multiple voices in my mind at any one time, and that's fine. That's just who I am. I'm happy to be who I am, but it just means that today, because I haven't been feeling 100%, haven't been feeling, very inspired, it's just given my mind an opportunity to try and fill my head with some less positive thoughts, just about life in general. Now, I'm lucky that I know that my mind will play tricks on me. I know that, what my mind's telling me isn't always the truth. And I know that, my mood and how positive I'm feeling, goes up and down. There are peaks and troughs. So no matter how negative the thoughts are in my mind, I've always got that knowledge that negative times pass. And I've got the knowledge from experience that no matter how down I'm feeling, or no matter how uninspired I'm feeling, as long as I carry on doing the things I know I need to when it comes to working hard, focusing on my health and fitness, focusing on turning myself into the strongest person possible, I know that as long as I carry on doing those things, that I'll feel much better than I otherwise would if I was to just succumb to any negative thoughts and, focus on any negative thoughts. So, when these negative thoughts are going through my mind, I accept them for what they are. They're just thoughts, and I carry on with what I know I need to do in terms of continuing to turn myself into the strongest person possible. Now, it might mean that it's more of a struggle to do things that I need to, because I've got this sort of foggy mind and I've got these thoughts going through my head, but it doesn't change the fact that I know that I need to carry on doing everything that I know I need to. And look, I'd rather feel proud at the end of the day that I have done my best to carry on this journey of self-improvement. Even if I'm not feeling 100%, I still have that pride in me. That's better than me just succumbing to negativity and living like a lot of people do, where you basically indulge in negativity and kind of get a kick out of negativity. I'd rather not battle the negativity. I wouldn't say battle it within yourself, because anything you try and battle within your mind, it just adds fuel to the fire, and it just makes it worse. Just see it for what it is, accept that it's only a thought, and then carry on doing everything that you know deep down that you need to. And for me, it's just continuing to focus on my physical, mental, spiritual health, and continue trying to turn myself into the strongest person I can. But this evening I do need to go and do an arm and chest session in the gym, but right now I need to lock this garage up, get home, and I need to do some posts on my social media. I've already edited yesterday's video on this channel, so just a little bit of work to do on my MacBook. I am going to have some lunch first, and then I'll have a chance to digest a bit before I can then go to the gym for this arm and chest session. Alright, finally made it to the gym at 8:30, so it's going to be a late gym session on a Friday night, but you know what? I'm grateful to be in the gym on a Friday night. What's the alternative? What are most people doing on a Friday night? Going out, getting wasted, wasting a load of money, setting themselves up for a day tomorrow, being hungover and depressed. I'd much rather be in the gym, bettering myself, making myself stronger. Despite the fact that, I'm not feeling 100% today, I can still be proud of myself for making my way to the gym, and quite frankly, having a Friday night that most people wouldn't be able to handle, let alone want to do. So I need to get in there and crack on with this arm and chest session. Going to do my 0.6 of a mile incline walk, very steep, very fast incline walk as usual, just to warm my body up. That's something that my mind was trying to talk me out of today, because I don't have time. And then I'm going to go into the 5 machines that I normally do on arms and chest. Going to go hard as usual. Going to listen to something positive or educational in my ears, probably some sort of podcast on YouTube whilst I'm having a workout. But let's get in there and get this done.
Right, so got out of the gym at just before 10 p.m, so I was in there an hour and a half, which isn't too bad, and it was a really decent arm and chest session. A couple of things worth noting. There was a couple of times where I sort of just got the thought of me having to go and do my boxing class tomorrow, like in the middle of a set, and then that thought just made failure come quicker. Like, it's amazing how strong your mind is. You know, your mind can literally make your body be able to do less reps. I remember, I think it was the first set of the chest press, and I only banged out, I think it was 6 reps, like literally, because as I'm coming up to like my 5th rep, I'm thinking to myself, oh, I've got boxing tomorrow. You know, I don't want to wear out my triceps because, you know, boxing is very heavy on the triceps. I mean, punching literally is straightening your arm, and that's what your tricep does. And then because I had that thought, I'd reached failure and I couldn't bang out any more reps than 6. And then in my 2nd set and 3rd set, I was able to bang out more reps than 6. Now, it's worth noting that sometimes the first set, you know, you are able to hit less reps, just because you kind of warm into that exercise, right? And a lot of people will actually do sort of lower weight warm-up sets, and then they start their working sets. But because I do so many sets, I don't like to do that. To be fair, I did on the triceps extension, but yeah, I don't religiously do that. So, you know, that might have been part of it, but I definitely remember that, you know, on the chest press and on one of the other machines, I'm sure, like, I just had that thought, and having that thought of me worrying about being too knackered for boxing tomorrow made me hit failure sooner. Like, your mind is so powerful, like, you know, for positive things and negative things. Your mind, a strong mind, can really push you forward, but any sort of weak thoughts can also literally hold you back and make you physically weaker. And that's why it's important to work on strengthening your body and your mind. You know, they're both interlinked. So many people out there sort of wonder why they're struggling with their mental health when they basically treat their body like shit. And then on the other hand, so many people out there wonder why they're so physically weak when they do no work at all on improving their mental health. You know, you have to improve your physical and your mental health simultaneously. Like, there's plenty of excuses you can make for not going to the gym, plenty of excuses you can make for not focusing on your mental health as well. You know, you can tell yourself that it's all a waste of time, tell yourself that it's silly, tell yourself that it's weird, but really and truly, what does weird mean? What does not normal mean? Basically means that it's not what the masses are doing, and I don't want to do what the masses are doing, because the masses are living lives in a way that I wouldn't want to live. And the masses are mainly all depressed and unhappy and not satisfied. So yeah, I'm quite happy to be weird. I've been spoilt this evening with my dinner, having steak, 2 eggs, and some sweet potato wedges and a smoothie. All right, well, after a little bit of chilling out with Kat and then a little bit of work on my MacBook once she went to bed, it's now time for me to go to bed because it's 12:20 and tomorrow I've got boxing, so definitely need to get some rest tonight. But yeah, today's been a day where, you know, if I look back at the day, for most of the day, I have not really been feeling great. You know, I've had negative thoughts going through my mind because I haven't been 100%. You know, my mind has taken advantage of the fact that I haven't been feeling 100% to keep feeding negativity into my mind. You know, my reticular activation system has been, you know, naturally honing into negativity, and that just adds fuel to the fire, and, you know, then you just end up going around in a vicious circle. But, you know, because of the way that I analyse what's going on in my mind, and because of my past experience of doing so, you know, I've been able to focus on using my discipline to still carry on doing everything I know I need to, you know, maybe at a slower rate, maybe not as efficiently, but it's always better to tap into your discipline and do everything you know you need to, even when you aren't feeling 100%, because ultimately it's still been an awesome day. Even though, if I look back and remember, there was a large percentage of the day where I didn't feel great, you know, where I was battling negativity. Now that I've got to the end of the day,
I can say, yeah, it was an awesome day. I'm proud that I did everything I needed to in terms of my morning routine. I'm proud that I went to the gym this evening. I'm proud that I ended up going round to the garage to do some work, you know, whereas at the other end of the scale, what I could have ended up doing was just doing nothing all day because I wasn't feeling up to attacking the day. And that never makes you feel good. That never makes you feel proud at the end of the day. So yeah, as I say, I need to get myself to bed. I am going to import some more files and let my MacBook do its thing whilst I'm brushing my teeth and whatnot. But yeah, that is the end of another awesome day in my life. Massive thanks as always to everyone who's tuned into this video. Hope it's been somewhat helpful or motivational. Hopefully I'll wake up with a bit more mojo in the morning. But yeah, as always, feel free to get in touch in the comments or through Facebook, Instagram or email. But other than that, I'll chat to you tomorrow.